We will continue with chapter number 3 in Maths 2, which is circle, and we will try to complete the remaining theory, which is part of this chapter. So, in that aspect, we will focus on chords, tangents, and secants today. Be ready with your textbooks, notebooks, pencils, and pens. Remember, when we were completing, when we were studying for practice set 3.4, there were a couple of questions. Question number 7 and 8 we did not do because there is a part of theory which is not explicitly stated in the chapter, but it is given as part of an example question. So we will go through that theory and then we will look at the last part of the theory, which will help us complete practice set 3.5. But to do that, whether all these, whether it is the chord, secant, tangent, or the theory that we have not completed for practice set 3.4, we need something about triangles. Yes, we are studying circles, but we need to understand something about triangles. And I'm sure most of you know this already. Most of you remember this already. And it is about exterior angle of a triangle. Right? So let us remember what this is. The way we are going to do it is, I will draw some things on the screen. And while I'm drawing, I will also ask you certain things. So help me understand whether you remember, do not remember, understand, or do not understand. So a triangle. So let us try have a triangle. Okay. This is no special triangle. This is just a triangle, any triangle. We will name the triangle. Can one of you please tell me, or anyone who wants to, all of you, if you want to speak or type it in the chat, what is the name of this triangle? Be quick. This is very easy. We have completed this long time back. What is the name of this triangle? How will we name it? So as some of you have told me that we can say this is triangle ABC. So we will write like this, triangle ABC. Now, if I say that the side BC is extended and it passes through the point D. Now, if I ask you, what is the name for this angle? How will we name this angle? I'm not asking you what type of angle is this. I'm asking you what is the name of this angle. As I asked you, what is the name of the triangle? What is the name of this angle? Correct. Again, Prachi and Karina, the angle is angle ACD. Now, because this angle is outside the triangle, this type of angle is called an exterior angle. Exterior angle of the triangle. Okay, now let me see if you remember what we need to know. If I ask you to tell me how these three angles are related, what are the three angles? The three angles that I'm asking you about are angle ACD, angle BAC, and angle ABC. Do you remember how they are related to each other? So some of you do remember that angle ACD equals to angle ABC plus angle BAC. In words, we have seen that exterior angle is equal to the sum of remote interior angles. Sum of remote interior angles. So why remote interior angles? What is the meaning of remote interior angles? We already know interior angles. If the angles are inside the triangle, we will call them the interior angles. So here, this angle and this angles are two interior angles. The third one is here. Now, if you see, this angle here is very near to the exterior angle, whereas this angle and this angle, they are far away from the exterior angle. Far away means remote. Remote, one of the meaning of the word remote is far away. We call that machine which has buttons, switch on the TV, switch off the TV as remote control, because we can control the TV from a distance. So remote means far away. Now these two interior angles, A and B, are away from the exterior angle. That is why they are called remote interior angles. We need to know, we need to remember this. And the way we use it is, if this angle is 70 degrees here, this angle is say 60 degrees here, how much will angle ACD be? Quickly do the calculation and tell me. $130, correct. 60 degrees plus 70 degrees. Okay. If we change the question, now if I say that the exterior angle is 130 degrees, one of the remote interior angles is 60 degrees, what will be the measure of the other remote interior angles, that is angle A? How will we calculate? What is the answer? Very good. We will do 130 degrees minus 60 degrees, which is equal to 70 degrees. Right? So this concept of exterior angle and remote interior angles is necessary for the theory that we are going to study today. So using that theory of remote interior angles and exterior angle, we are going to study today about these three things. One is the angle between two chords. Chords are any line segment. A chord is any line segment joining 2 points on the circle. Angle between two chords, if there are two chords, what is the angle between them? We will also study the angle between secant and tangent. Remember what a secant is, what a tangent is. Also, division of chords. Let us understand quickly what we are talking about. If I draw this, what have I drawn? Definitely, I have drawn a circle. If I show this point, then definitely this is the center. That is all clear. Now, just to remember, just to check if you remember what we are talking about, this line L, this is a special line. What is its name? What is its special name? Yes, its name is L, but it has a special name. What do we call it?
Tangent.
It is not a tangent. It's a secant. It's a secant because it passes through the circle at 2 points. L is a secant. What is the line M? Line M is a tangent, correct. Line M is a tangent, correct. What do we call the line segment AB?
Angle between chord.
No, beta. Line segment AB is a line segment. It is not an angle. How can it be an angle? It's a chord. Okay. Let us start with the first topic for the day, which will be angle between chords. Angle between chords. And this property, this theorem, whatever we may call it, it is not given as theory. It is given as an example question. Example number 2 before practice set 3.4 in your textbook. Let us understand what is happening. Now we have a circle whose center we are not able to see. It's not there and it's not necessary as of now. And it has, you tell me how many chords in this picture? In this diagram, there is a circle. How many chords do we see? And what are they? Name the chords that we are able to see. If you speak up, it will be faster, I guess. Okay. PS is one.
PS.
Yes, correct. Another answer that has come is PQ. Okay. And another answer
RS.
is RS. Yes, these are the three chords. Now, out of these three chords, let us focus on two of them, which is PQ and RS. We could have taken any, but let us focus on PQ and RS. They are intersecting at the point T. And such that the angle between them, if you are able to see the diagram on the screen, or if you see it in the textbook, the angle between them is 58 degrees. It is 58 degrees. Now, if you consider triangle PTS, consider triangle PTS. In this triangle, this angle STQ is the exterior angle. And corresponding to this exterior angle, the two remote interior angles are here and here. Please confirm that this is clear. Are we able to identify the exterior angle and the remote interior angles? Okay? This is what is happening. This is how they are related. So what we can say, because we know that the exterior angle is equal to the sum of the two remote interior angles, we can say angle STQ will be equal to angle PSR plus angle QPS, means this angle and this angle. Once we have understood this, we will understand the funny things and interesting things that are happening. Now, this angle PSR, where is this PSR? This PSR is the angle inscribed in an arc, because the vertex S is on the circle. And the arc intercepts is the arc PR, this arc. And we know by the inscribed angle theorem that this angle 24 degrees, angle of measure 24 degrees, is half of the measure of the arc PR. So this 24 here is equal to 1/2 measure arc PR. Why? How? Inscribed angle theorem, जो हमने last की class में पढ़ा था. Similarly, if we now look at angle QPS, this angle, this will be half of arc QS, because angle QPS is the inscribed angle and the intercepted arc is QS. So this angle here is half measure arc QS. Told you, interesting things will happen. So if that is the case, we can say that our angle STQ, which is sum of angles PSR and QPS, PSR is half of measure arc PR, and QPS is half of measure arc QS. Half of two things, so half of this plus this, measure arc PR plus measure arc QS. This is the theory. The theory is the angle between the two chords is equal to half of the sum of the arcs they intercept. The angle is angle STQ or angle PTR. They are equal to each other, vertically opposite angles. We need not worry, right side wala lena hai ki left side wala lena. But what we can now definitely say that this 58 degrees is half of measure of arc PR and measure of arc SQ. Please make a note, and it is there in the textbook also. So depending on the angle that we choose, the angle between when the two chords intersect, there will be 4 angles. Depending on which angle we choose, we have to consider the corresponding arcs that they intercept. Let us see how this property can be used, and we are taking question of practice set 3.4. Very simple question. It says there is a circle and there are 2 chords AC and DE that intersect at the point D. Then it says angle ABE equals to 108 degrees. Where is angle ABE? 108 degrees. It also says measure of arc AE. So I will write here 95 degrees. The question is, what is the measure of arc DC? Mane is arc ko puche. Just now we said the angle between the chords, right? So angle ABE is half of measure of the arcs they intercept. So one arc is AE. Another arc that it intercepts is CD. Now, if we substitute the values correctly, this will become a linear equation. You tell me how much is ABE? How much shall I write here? 108 degrees is correct. Then 1 by 2 within brackets for AE. How much shall I write?
95
degrees.
9 degrees.
And for measure of arc CD, we don't know, we are calculating. See, linear equation in one variable. So when we take these two to the left hand side, it will become multiplication. So this will become 108 into 2. This is 216 degrees. And then when we take 95 to the left hand side, it will become subtraction. This will be the measure of arc CD. सब्ट्रैक्शन कीजिए, बताइए कितना आता है? (216 minus 95). Lost your voice, Chan.
131.
Is it 131? I think the answer is wrong.
115.
I think the answer is still wrong. It's a simple, thank you, Fiza. Correct answer, 121 degrees.
121, sir.
Now, the chords may not intersect inside the circle. Look at this situation. Once again, we have 2 main chords, AB and CD. And AB and CD, they are not intersecting inside. They are intersecting outside at the point E. So once again, there is an angle between them. And that angle is this angle. So how is this related to the arcs that they intercept? So first of all, let us identify what is the angle between them. So the angle between them, I have already told you, is AEC. This is the angle between the chords AB and CD, which are intersecting outside at the point E. What are the two arcs that they are intercepting? Can you name them? There are two very clear arcs that they intercept.
BD.
BD is correct. And another one
AD.
is AC. Right? This is one arc. Here is another arc. These are the two arcs that are intercepted by this angle. And so there is a relationship between this angle and the measures of these two arcs. Let me first tell you what the relationship is, and then we will try understand how that happens. In this case, when the chords are intersecting each other outside the circle, this angle AEC, which is the angle between these two chords, will be equal to, once again, half measure arc, पहले मैं बड़ा वाला लिख रहा हूं AC, and measure arc छोटा वाला BD. Only difference is, instead of plus, now there will be a minus. That is it. That's it. और ऐसा क्यों हुआ? ऐसा इसलिए हुआ, pay attention. This proof is not given in the textbook. You are expected to write it on your own. Now, look at the triangle ADE. Now, the red angle is the exterior angle, and the blue angles are the remote interior angles. So, what we can say is angle ADC equals to angle AEC plus angle DAE. Exterior angle is equal to the sum of remote interior angles. We need AEC. Okay, so AEC को अलग कर लेते हैं, तो angle AEC will be equal to angle ADC minus angle DAE. यानी इसको उस तरफ ले. Now let us look at where angle ADC is. ADC is this angle, this red angle. And this angle intercepts the arc AC. So this will be half of arc AC. Look at angle DAE. DAE, the blue angle here, intercepts the arc BD. So it will be equal to half of arc BD. There is a minus sign between them. So we have this situation. So this proof is also dependent on exterior angle theorem for triangles and inscribed angle theorem for circles. Let us try the last question of practice set 3.4. We have, this is question number 7. We have a circle where some information is given and some information is asked. So what is given? It says that measure of arc NS is 125. So writing it the way I wrote for the previous question, 125. This is 125 degrees. And measure of arc EF, this is 37 degrees. Very simple question. What is the measure of arc NM, not arc, angle NMS? This is the question. Straightforward, one line answer. What should I write? Question number 7 of practice set 3.4. What do we see? Do we see two chords? Are they intersecting somewhere? Are they intersecting inside or outside the circle? Chan, no, wrong answer, wrong method. First answer, do we see two chords? Do we have two chords in this circle? Yes, correct. The two chords are NE and SS. This is a chord. This is another chord. Where are they intersecting? What is the point of intersection of these chords?
M.
Outside. Yes, the point is M, which is outside the circle. Very good. And we have to find the angle between them. NMS is the angle between them. So what happens? Do we need to add something or do we need to subtract? The intersection is happening outside the circle. You have to subtract, Chan. Now you are correct. Right? And not subtraction is not enough. We have to subtract and then take half of it. So the correct answer will be angle NMS 1/2, 125 degrees minus 37 degrees, which is 1/2. Tell me, 125 minus 37 is how much?
$88.
Correct. 88 is correct. So our angle NMS will be 44 degrees. And why did this happen? We will have to write a reason. No? We will have to write a reason for writing that first sentence. So our reason will be angle between chords intersecting outside the circle. This is the minimum that we need to write for this question. If we write one more line, it will be the best answer. And that is, if we start by saying angle NMS equals to half measure of arc NS minus measure of arc EF, and this reason written here, and then we can write this. This is the ideal answer. You will get full marks. If it is 5, you will get 5 marks. This will not be for 5 marks. If it is for 3 marks, you will get 3 marks. If it is for 2 marks, you will get 2 marks. In the last part of the chapter, we will be focusing on the different angles, right, that are formed. So we will now look at the angle between tangent and secant. We will also look at the angle, the different parts of the chords when they intersect each other, because we have already seen the angles between the chords. So the next part, once again, is angle between tangent and secant. The proof for this theorem is very, very long. There are 3 parts to the solution, 3 parts to the theorem, and that is why it is not asked in the exam. It's very long. But what the theorem says is very interesting, very useful, very important. The theorem says that if we have a situation where there is a tangent to the circle, so here we have a circle and there is a tangent. We can say that CD is the tangent, and if we can name it as a line, if we say that this line T, which passes through just one point on the circle, which is the point C. So this line T is a tangent. Now you see 3 chords in the circle, and you can imagine these 3 chords to be 3 secants if you extend them. What the theorem says is, if you take this secant AC, I will show you why this is a secant. Okay, secant. The angle between the secant AC and the tangent P. So if we take this angle, which is shown in the diagram, this angle is equal to this angle. This is the theorem. So angle ACD is equal to angle ABC. Similarly, and this you will help me complete. If I ask you what this angle will be equal to, this is also an angle made between one secant and another and a tangent. Can you name the angle which this will be equal to? So angle, I'm asking you, angle BCE. Guess and tell me which angle will it be equal to. You don't need to guess, but you can guess and tell. Correct, Karina. The angle it will be equal to is this angle here. Excellent. Very correct. So forget about what the theorem says, what the statement of the theorem is. That is not a very nice theorem to look at. But this is the meaning of the theorem. Let us move on. Told you that the theorem doesn't look nice. It has so many figures, so many statements. There are two ways the theorem is stated. As a teacher, I don't like using this at all. I prefer this one, which is at the bottom. Both are from your textbook. Both are correct. I'm just being honest with you that the second one makes more sense to me. And that is what I explained to you in very, very simple terms on the previous slide. So if we have to use this theorem, all we need to say is angle between secant and tangent. That's it. We don't need to write the entire theorem. If we understand, very good. But the name, to quote this theorem, to cite this theorem, all we need to say it, angle between tangent and secant. Let us try this. And very strangely, there is not even one question in the practice set related to this, directly related to this. There is no question even as a solved example in the textbook related to this. I still haven't figured out why that is the case. Let us try, see if we can answer some questions. We should have a circle. Okay, we have a circle. We should have a tangent. So we will keep it very simple. We will draw the tangent very easily, which will. I wanted to draw a tangent. Why did I draw a circle? My mistake. So suppose this is the tangent, and we will make it much better by naming it properly. So we will name it as a line. We will also name it as a line segment. And we will name the point where it is tangent. Now, We still, let us complete the diagram. We may need it, we may not need it, so we can complete the diagram. The question can be like this. This angle here is 70 degrees. This angle here is 70 degrees. How much is this angle? Should not take 15 seconds to answer this. If angle XYB is 70 degrees, no, angle XCB is 70 degrees, what will be the measure of angle XYC? Is the question clear? Are you able to see it? What will it be equal to? The secant is XC, the tangent is AB. There is an angle between them, XCB, which is of the measure 70 degrees. The question is, how much is angle XYC? Give me the measure, Karina. And there is no D here. Chand is saying 140 degrees. Really? Did I say that it will be 140 degrees? I said it will be equal, na? So this will be just 70 degrees. No? It will be just 70 degrees. What will be 140 degrees is the measure of the arc XC. That will be 140 degrees. But the measure of angle XYC will be 70 degrees. Let's try another question. If I tell you that this angle here is 60 degrees, and if I ask you, how much is this angle? What will be your answer?
60.
Yes. Thank you, Shubham. 60 degrees. Yeah, yeah. Nothing more. So the angle between the secant and the tangent is equal to the inscribed angle in the opposite side of the secant. So this 60 degree is equal to the angle that the secant makes in the opposite on the opposite side. Then this angle 70 degree, which is the angle between the secant and the tangent, is equal to the angle the secant makes on the opposite side. Inscribed angle. As simple as that. And there are no questions in the practice set or in the example regarding this. Moving on. Division of chords. This is definitely the last part of the chapter. What happens? What is the length of the different parts of the chords when they intersect each other? Remember, when we studied about the angle between chords, there were two cases. Case number one, they intersected inside the circle. Case number two, they intersected outside the circle. Same is the situation here. They can intersect inside or they can intersect outside. So what happens when they intersect inside and what happens when they intersect outside? And we will realize the same thing happens. We will also try to understand why that happens. But before that, let us understand what is that happens. There is a circle. What is the center of the circle?
P.
And I see two solid chords. What are the names of the two solid chords?
AC and DB.
No, solid. I said solid, not dotted. Two solid chords.
AB and CD.
AB and CD. Very good, correct. So those are the chords we are concerned with. So there are two chords which intersect each other inside the circle with the center P. Where are the chords intersecting? What is that point?
E.
E.
That is the point of intersection. And the theorem of internal division of chords says AE into EB equals to CE into ED. Do you think this is difficult? What it means is, just taking an example, if this here is 4, this here is 2, this here say is, for example, 6. So using this theorem, we can say 4 into 2 equals to CE into 6. So we can calculate CE equals to 4 into 2 by 6. 4 by 3. That is it. Any doubt in this explanation? What is happening in the theory? This is what is happening. Very easy. And because we are multiplying the different parts of the segments, so we took the two parts of the first chord are AE and EB, we are multiplying them, and then we are taking the other two parts of the other chord, CE and ED. We are multiplying them. We can also say that AE into EB is the area of the rectangle formed by them. मतलब क्या हुआ इसका? Suppose this EB is like this. There is another line segment of the same distance, and we join this. So AE into EB, when we multiply, we know area of the rectangle is length into breadth. So when we do area into AE into EB, we are actually calculating the area of the rectangle. So another way to say the same thing is, instead of saying AE into AB, sometimes people say that the area of the rectangle formed by the chords will be the same. Good to know. Not necessary, but good to know. Now, why did this happen? As a क्यों, clearing the screen. To understand why it happened, why this happened, we need to join AC and BD. Now we have two triangles, A, E, C, and triangle, I think, C, no, A, E, C, then what will I take? I don't know, we will see. This triangle and this triangle. See what is happening in these two triangles. These two angles are equal. Tell me, why are they equal? By which theorem? By which property are they equal? Why are they equal? There is a special name for these angles. AEC, DEB. A type of angle they are. Something related to opposite. What kind of angles are they? So Karina is saying opposite angle, and I told you that the better way to name them is vertically opposite angles. So these two angles are same. If you have really studied similarity and circles and everything, you will also realize that the angle here will be equal to the angle here with respect to the chord BC. Because both angle, this angle here A and this angle here D, They are the angle inscribed in the arc CADB. They intercept the same arc BC. So this is a corollary of the inscribed angle theorem. Now we have two triangles in which two of the angles are same, congruent. So by a rule, we can say that these two triangles are similar. Tell me what rule it is. What rule? What test? Two angles of one triangle are congruent to two angles of another triangle, so they are similar. AA test. Correct, Karim. Now, because these two triangles are similar, correct, Chandra? Because those two triangles are similar, the sides will be proportional. The sides will be proportional. And when we are writing that proportionality relationship between them, then let us try to focus on the sides that we are concerned with. We are concerned with AB, not AB. We are concerned with AE, EB, CE, and ED. Okay, let us start from AE. If AE is the side that I pick up from the left-hand side triangle, what will be the corresponding side from the other triangle? Now this is similarity, nothing else. AE is corresponding to what side? DE is correct. Karina. Right? So I've got AE and I have also got DE. Now let us pick up other side of the triangle, the first triangle. Now EB is not from the first triangle. CE is from the first triangle. So let us say CE. And if I take CE of the first triangle, the corresponding side will be DE. Why? Because corresponding sides of similar triangles. Now, if we do a simple algebra, if we move these denominators to the other side, AE into BE equals to CE into DE. यही तो है, हो गया proof. So if we know similarity that we started studying in class 9, we finished in the first chapter of Maths 2, we will be able to write this proof. AE into EB equals to CE into ED. I'm not telling you where this question is from. This is directly from the textbook. You will figure out when you study the textbook, you will know where this question is from. Okay? So there is a circle, and in which we have chords MN and RS. They intersect each other at the point P. PR equals to 6. So it will be easy for us if we write these things in the diagram itself. So 6, PS is 4, MN is 11. Total is 11. So we have to find PM. Have I written this correctly? Just confirm. From the question, have I put the correct numbers on the diagram? When we solve this question in the exam, we will draw the rough diagram and we will show these numbers on the diagram. Now, using the theorem of internal division of chords, tell me, what can we write here? You tell, I'll write.
PR into
PR into,
PN.
I'm losing your voice, Jan.
PN.
There are so many things happening on the screen. I'm not able to write properly. I'm opening my textbook. So PR into PS, we can write, will be equal to something. Let's complete. PR into PS will be what?
MP into PN.
MP into PN, correct. MP into PN. Yes. Now, do we know PR? Yes, we know. It is 6. Do we know PS? Yes, we know. It is 4. This is easy. Now, do we know MP? We don't know. Do we know PN? We don't know. But we do know MN. Total is 11. So we can say let Pn equals to X. Then the remaining part will be 11 minus X. Enough? Because the total is 11. So MP is 11 minus X and Pn is X. So we have 24 equals to 11x minus x square. Now if we take everything to the left hand side, x square minus 11x plus 24 equals to 0. What kind of equation is this? What kind of equation is this? Karina is saying linear equation. Is there any other answer? Chand is saying this is a linear equation in one variable. Is there any other answer? Both are wrong. This is not a linear equation. This is definitely an equation in one variable, but this is not a linear equation. It's a quadratic equation in one variable. So where did we study quadratic equations? In which chapter, which subject?
Second chapter maths.
Maths 1, chapter number 2. Now to find the value of x, which is the measure of Pn, we will have to use the knowledge of quadratic equation. We can use the factorization method. We can use the completing the square method. We can also use the discriminant method, the formula method, to find the value of x. तो ऐसा question भी हो सकता है. The question that we tried before we looked at what the theorem was simple. Now it is a little bit more complex. This question is solved on page number 80 of your textbook. It is example number 2, page number 80. Now we will be able to understand the explanation if we know factorization method, splitting the middle term. Okay. So a simple question may not need us to use any complex algebra. A difficult question may require us to use some algebra. Clearing the screen. Moving on. What happens if the chords intersect each other outside the circle? This situation is called external division. External division. And the same thing happens. AE into BE equals to CE into DE. It's the same thing. And why does that happen? Now, if you join the chords, endpoints of the chords, then you will see that the two triangles that we will form, this triangle and this triangle, they will be similar to each other. right? So the triangles that we are talking about, let me write it properly. Triangle A, डी ई, जिससे कि हमको AE मिल सकता है, DE मिल सकता है, एंड ट्रायंगल CBE, from which we can get DE and CE. When we prove that these two triangles are similar to each other, then we can write the relationship between the corresponding side, that is, they are proportional. When we write that proportional relationship, then by moving the sides, we will be able to prove this once again. Good for us that this remains the same, whether the chords are intersecting outside or inside. The result remains the same. Once again, we have a circle. There are two chords. The chords are ST and QR. So if we understand the question properly, we need to know what the chords are. The chords are ST and QR. And what is the angle between them? The angle between them is angle SPQ. But do we need the angle? No, we don't need the angle. We need where do they intersect? They intersect at point P. At point P. Two lengths are given. So QR is given as 10. PS is given as 8. One more length is given. PQ is given as 6. The question is, what is this length? It's a very simple question. Now, using the theorem of external division of chords, tell me what can we write? What is the statement that we can write? We will put the values later.
RP into PQ.
RP into QP is equal to
TP into PS.
okay. I just have a tendency to write the end point at the end. So I have written like this. Yes, Chan, this is correct. Now all we have to do is put the values, nothing more. Now this actually is where is this question? I forgot. This is a question from the practice set 3.5. Is it? Yes, it is a question from 3.5. So now RP is how much? Tell me.
16.
It is 16. Yes, 10 plus 6, 16. Very good. QP is 6. TP, tell me how much TP is.
X plus
8 minus X. X plus 8.
Sorry. How much is TP?
X plus 8.
So what is X then?
TS.
TS is
So you are taking TS as S. Okay, we can do that. So if we take TS as X, then STP will be X plus 8 and our SP is 8. So when we solve this 16 into 6, let us not do that. Smart students, let it be 16 into 6. Let us move this 8 from right hand side to left hand side. So here we are left with X plus 8. So now it is 2 into 6, 12. Now when we move this 8 to that side, so X will be equal to 12 minus 8 equals to 4 is my answer. Now till now, we have seen what happens when the chords intersect inside the circle, outside the circle. What happens when there is a secant and a tangent. Okay? We have looked at the angles between them. We have looked at the lengths of the segments between them. This part, which is called tangent secant segments, theorem of tangent secant segments, I think it is very, very similar to external division of chords. External division of chords. Why? I will tell you just now. Now, if you look at this circle, which has a secant, the AB is a secant. AB is a chord which is part of a secant. And if we apply the theorem of external division of chords, of course, we will write AE into BE. दूसरा chord अभी देखेंगे कहाँ पर है, कहाँ नहीं. AE into BE. And the same thing is written as EA into EB. Now imagine the other chord was like this. And suppose it was P and Q. So we would have written PE PE into QE. ऐसा लिखते ना? This is what we would write in case of external division of chords. But what is happening here is we don't have another chord. We have a tangent. So we don't have 2 points P and Q. We have just 1 point T. So for P we have T, for Q also we have T. And the E remains. So we have ET square. This is the theorem. This is not a proof. I'm just telling you what the similarity is with the external division of chords. If we know the similarity, then it is very easy for us to remember what the theorem says. We have a circle, we have a secant, we have a tangent. There are 2 segments of the secant, QR and PS. That is why it is called tangent secant segments. And there is a tangent, so there is a tangent segment which is PS. So from the theorem, if I write part of it, can you help me write the other part? If I write PQ into PR equals to, tell me what will be on the right hand side.
PS square.
So easy, correct. All we need to do now is put the values. How much is PQ? 3.6. How much is QR? Is 6.4. Oh, this is 6.4. This is 3.6. So how much is PR?
10.
Is it 10?
10.
Yes, it is 10. It is 10. Which is equal to PS square. How much is 3.6 into 10?
$36.
Is 36. So how much will be PS? It will be square
6.
root of 36, which is 6. That is the answer. And this is an example question, example number 1 on page number 80. So all the questions in this part of the chapter, whether they are in example or if they are in the practice set, they relate to the segments of the chord, segment of the tangent, segment of the secant. There are no questions, unfortunately, with respect to the angles. But we need all. This was the last part of the theory, last theory for this chapter. For practice of this theory, we have taken, we used some example questions, some questions from the practice set, and some questions randomly from outside. If you have understood, if you once again read, go through the content in the chapter, I will send you the slides after the class, I will send you the recording after the class, then you will be able to complete the remaining questions. So, as part of your homework, you will complete the question numbers 7 and 8. Question 7 and 8 from practice set 3.4, जो पहले practice set से बच गया था. You will complete the solved examples from page number 80. There are 4 solved examples. We have already done one of them in the class, but I would request you to write it down properly. There are 2 more. Example number 3 and 4. You try. We will see it. We will go through them in the next class and complete practice set 3.5. Okay. So in the next class, when we meet day after tomorrow, we will focus on example number 3, example number 4 on page number 81, and then problem set 3. That will be the end of chapter circle.